Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back once more to Victoria 3 Japan. How good of you to join and how good of you to still stick around and enjoying this series. Hopefully, in the last episode we made a new foundation, a very important foundation to our empire, and that is the university education. And now I've just realized something. We are a bit full on gold there right now. We got 3.5 million gold reserves and we have a very good balance, and that means of course we need to invest in something, because the gold itself is just dead stuff to us, right? Dead weight, and we want to use that somehow. And by using that, I mean, yeah, increasing my construction sector once more. We're already doing this by building three more levels actually, in Shikoku, in Kanto as well. And that's going to be pretty important. We need to kind of like get a bit negative, not too much. Yeah, that would be fine to me. I think we're still having high taxes and also high government wages, as it should be right now. And we're also still using some consumption taxes here as well. Now that means that there's not that much more I can do here with the money. And now with the construction sectors finished, we can see we're going a bit negative there now. Well, perhaps almost, and we are past 100 construction capacity there as well. That means we can now build 3 buildings at the same time, and that's also pretty darn important to us for our future expansion. Speaking about expansion, those 3 buildings are being built right now, as we can see. Textile mill port in Kanto. So we should check out what we need with the new construction sectors. We definitely have an increase in iron, in tools, and also in wood once more. Wood is actually pretty steep here. Probably also some cloth there again, and groceries as always at the moment. So let's go ahead and increase my logging industry here in Tohoku to the maximum. Nothing else I could do here right now, so there's also no way that I could actually go ahead and boost the outcome here, other than going away from the hardwood again, back to the prioritized softwood production. With that, we would solve the wood production right away. However, we would have a small hardwood negative then. I think though this is still the right way here. A small shortage we have for sure now. What could I do about that? Taxes, the income is still fine for the long camp. The solution here would be for me to actually just switch the work mode of some logging camps and not of all of them, right? So we're just going here with a smaller in between. So Shugoku definitely stays there with a level 20. In Chubu we could go to hardwood, and this would increase it to 80, and with that we actually have it fixed already, right? With that we already have enough hardwood again on the market a bit, so that it stays stable. And wood on the other hand is still now fine. It's not super good, but it's still fine. And with that it's at 165, so we halved the negative here, and then we of course built the logging camps and should be golden. Now, protectionism is my law that we're currently going for. This is still in adoption. It's taking us too long at this point once more. It had a very good start, but for quite some time now it's pretty back here, and it's leading to a backlog of things right now that is also increasing my radicalization. 5 million is still fine though. Most of them are from the Haimin, and in that case most of them are also peasants, so it's not super bad for us right now. Still, it's not ideal. Now this urban center is now level 2, still not super nice there as well. My journal entry shows me for the restoration. Industrialization, we're still at 22%. We still need the 5 equal with Shikoku. And then we need railways, right? This is the other big step. So we have now urban centers in almost all of my provinces. There's still a level 4 one. Let's give it another construction sector boost. And port-wise, yeah, it has access to the ocean. Let's also give it some port here. This gives me infrastructure and convoys, and something we will actually need. And let's also give it a nice boost to the food industry once more. This, by the way, also leads to quite the grain shortage that we have now. So unfortunately, I'm not a huge fan, but unfortunately we will also need to look a bit into farming there again. So perhaps my central provinces could do something. There's the rice farms, right, that we are having here. They produce fruits, grains, and sugar. So that's quite a lot, right? And let's go ahead and boost its output there a bit by, let's make it 5 additional levels there. Alright, enact consumption-based taxation is leading to a new revolution of the Haimin. I really don't like consumption-based taxation that much. So I don't know what we should do here now. Not that much, unfortunately. They're just very powerful, right? It's one of the main things of these guys here. Let's just hope that we can finish protectionism at some point now. Really, it should be finished at some point soon, so that we can move to, yeah, probably consumption-based taxation, which a huge part of my population really wants. Alright, phew, that actually was pretty steep now. It was lucky, 20% chance, and it actually was successful this time. And with that, the age of isolation is over. So we are no longer isolated. We are no longer having an isolated market. We can now finally go into the market business and have exports and imports. This is another major milestone after the shogunate downfall. With this one, we have now open markets. We're opening up to the world, and that's pretty important. Now with that, we might actually go for the consumption-based taxation. The problem with that is once enacted, I do lose 55,000 in revenue from my current tax system, which is devastating. I can't allow this to happen at this point. We don't have enough people for that. At the moment, it seems. The land-based is great. I wanted to go for the per capita taxation or proportional taxation at some point now. For that, however, we need to get rid of traditionalism and go in the economic system. So we would need to get interventionism or agrarianism at least, right? But away from this one at the very least. Now, since per capita taxation is also something that most of my people would endorse, and it actually gives me a tiny weeny bit in addition of revenue, proportional taxation would be a loss here, and the graduated taxation as well. Per capita is still fine. We still need to get rid of traditionalism though, and that would be another major step forward here. We have the agrarianism, so we can subsidize ranches, or we can also subsidize all buildings. We get another 50% private construction allocation. However, interventionism is not something that I could probably push that much. The landowners would actually oppose this, the only ones. Trade union, industrialized would like it a lot, so we would get their bonus right away. Agrarianism is supported by the high min. Oh, that would be not so bad because we're already pretty low on that. We would still get the bonus from the industrialists, and we would still also get a bonus for the trade unionists. So I think agrarianism is the way to go right now. I mean, it's aristocrats in the investment pool. That's also bad. Let's try interventionism. Only the landowners would disapprove of that, but other than that, this is actually something that we might be able to push, and we do get at least the manufacturing tax income from the industrialists. British investments. Robert Peel, a wealthy and powerful industrialist from Great Britain, sees Empire of Japan as a lucrative and untapped market. In exchange for various political favors to be redeemed at an unspecified point in time, Robert Peel is willing to share with us the industrial technology of his homeland. 100% technology spread for 2 years. We would get an obligation to Great Britain. I think this is still, it could be, of course it's a trap. It's a trap, of course. Let's not do it. I don't want to have any obligations, really. We could be pushed into a war or something. There once again for the revolution. An attempt on the life of the emperor has killed many but spared our ruler. A complex device, itself damaged in the attack, is the only trace of the revolutionary left at the site. Public appearance, no public appearances for a while. Or this crime is obviously the fault of Oku. And Oku is petite bourgeoisie. Alright, 33% chance that the civil war gets reduced or it gets powered. Of course I had the powered one. Luck is never on my side when it comes to these things. I would like to try my chances from time to time. Amidst all of this, the Bathman process has been finished, so that's really good then for the steel mills. I'm going with that, perfect. Let's have a look a bit more into, I think we should be going for more society tech. Nationalisms doesn't sound so bad. It's rather quickly finished and gives me some 10% authority right away. And then we probably can go also for, psychiatry for the bureaucracy cost multiplier reduction. This revolution thingy. It's hurting me at this point. Also, this law taking too long again. Alright, it actually got reduced there again by 10%. And the intelligentsia have written a manifesto demanding the government making certain concessions in order to protect the public welfare. They make a strong case. They do gain some bonuses. We also give them, yeah, political strength and interest group approval. And, oh no, why should I go with the other ones? They make a strong case for concessions. Now, we could also start with some basic export traits. So dye, for example, is something that we produce in surpluses, and that's going to be for quite some time. The American market is interested in that. So we can actually get a nice productivity out of this one here after the tariffs and export a few of them as well. We got still 1,600 convoys available, so we should really tap that potential there a bit. We also get some weapons to the Mexican market. Alright, I don't need weapons for now. Meat we have, tools we have, tea we have. No one likes tea really, no, at least not for profit. Iron we have a bit. That's too high volumes. Peppers, gold. That would be interesting. We, interestingly enough, have some oil here. I'm not going with that. Silk, that is definitely something. British market likes that. Let's give it to them. A group of women affiliated with the Shinto monks in Hokkaido have founded an organization with the purpose of arranging medical and material support for anti-government revolutionaries. We cannot afford this or crack down on women's religious organizations. Oh, both of them are bad. At least this gives me only 5% more civil war, but state penalties from turmoil is increased for Hokkaido. That's okay. And prominent members, outspoken intervention and close allies. What? Oh, supporters, yeah, okay. Have been exposed to in a corruption scandal. It really, this is all against us. We can derive some benefit from that. We get the benefits of corruption. Alright, but we would lose 2% bureaucracy. Alright, we can do this. Problem really is bureaucracy is down pretty hard right now. I need to build, I think, a few more government administrations. Do we not have a new mode that we could go here with? Holy cow, we do! The standardized filing system, of course, and this is super important, and I totally forgot about it. This one increases my paper consumption, alright, paper will be quite valuable after this. It will be gold, but it gives me 2,600 bureaucracy and 600 taxation capacity, and it's a huge step forward in everything that's important for the future. Let's have this one. And I think we just need to get more paper in. Yep, Central Archives was also with that successfully established. That is the journal entry that we had. And the use of filing cabinets in the government administration has drastically increased the effectiveness of bureaucracy. I love it! Yep. And we get 5% additional bureaucracy in the next 5 years. Alright, paper though it is. We already have some paper industry in some areas, so I would like to expand on that. The cool thing about paper industry also on top of it is it gives me then also some urbanization in addition and some more, employment ratings over there. Here I could go for some paper industry. We also have the logging camps in Shikoku, right? And also here the logging camps. All very important. Since we do need a huge amount of paper now for my government administration, more than I anticipated, we also need to change the production method for my paper mills to sulfide pulping. This one increases my paper output, however, it needs sulfur. That is something we actually don't have yet, so we do need to find us some sulfur mines, and I think I found them somewhere down here. Yep, there it is in Shikoku. There would be some sulfur mines available, so let's go ahead and push them. And let's also give them the atmospheric pump, right? So with that we actually, stabilize the price for sulfur there a bit at the cost of some coal and tools, which we have plentiful. So with that we should stabilize those things a bit around. A doctor in Chubu has been called aiding wounded dissidents and revolutionaries. His aid isn't just helping his patients, but it's emboldening the entire rebel movement. Alright, academic pops become more radical in the whole of Japan, or in Chubu only. How many academics do we have in Chubu? It's 8,000. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. This gives me some reduction there in in the revolution. So this is not really putting up more momentum, right? So it's kind of like staying there stagnant for quite some time. We are negative right now. Reason for that is goods for government buildings is 38,000. Yes, that's the, you name it, the government administration, because the lack of paper is there and it's so costly right now, and we, holy cow, need a lot of paper for my government. So it's super important that we finish those paper mills with the latest method that we have done. And urban. I should have more, right? So I could change it for the whole industry. Yeah, it does change it, though of course it skyrockets my sulfur there a bit. Where's my biggest paper factory? Yeah, it's in Shogoku. We're making some profit here still. That's the great thing about it. However, sulfur is a problem now, so we need to get that price here down. So let's actually get rid of the paper mill production there and switch to sulfurs, because that's super important. Alright, unfortunately the law failed. In that case, I cannot enact it now for quite some time. So not again right away. So I'm not going... we could wait 22 months before we enact it again, though the chance for this is much lower now. There's still the chance for agrarianism, and the Haimin actually would endorse this. It's not super nice short-term wise, because yeah, interventionism would be the better one long-term wise. But for now, we can go ahead with this and actually make the Haimin like us a bit more again, right? So we actually deactivate their negative trade on us, and with that get hopefully a nice booster out for a fort in a sea of anger. So this is just once again for the pops, and yeah, we can reduce the revolution chance with that. Of course not. Of course not. Alright, approval rating is going up here. Manufacturing taxes are coming in more. Perfect. Please, we need a new law there. I can't just work on nothing there. Alright, Great Britain wishes to enter a trade agreement with us. I think we can actually go ahead with that. Great Britain is one of the biggest markets, and it will definitely help us with getting better contracts out there. Another very interesting development right now is that railways are being privately built throughout the country, so I don't need to worry about it myself with my own construction sector. And this should actually lead to a bigger industrialization. Yep, we're at 30% now here, because we have now in almost every province at least a level 5 urban center, and the railways are being finished and across the empire as well. So the restoration of the industrialization is continuing here. Retire the samurai. There is only one more option that we need here. That's are not part of the government, and then the retire the samurai is gone, and the fall of the samurai would be enacted with that. And this is actually something I would like to push now. Perhaps it also changes the dynamic a bit of my of my revolutionary tidings here. Problem with that is the samurai really want to stay in power right now. How can we do this? We have a samurai emperor right now. That's the biggest problem to me. And yeah, we probably need to keep him there. So let's... I think we can't do that, because, yep, we are actually currently in a revolution. The biggest problem right now is that I can't enact any laws, even with a success chance of 45%. It failed 3 times in a row now with 2 setbacks, and it's just not possible for me, due to some very bad luck, I think, to enact any new laws. Finally, after a while, agrarianism has successfully, well, somehow progressed to the next stage consideration. And what we now need to do is, yeah, opening up a new industry that it's better to start now than later. For that, I would like to have a look at some urban centers where, first of all, where we don't have a railway yet, because we can, of course, also start with that. We are importing engines right now from the outside. I think, though, this is not totally fine. So long-term wise, I'm working towards engines now as well. For that, we do need a steel industry first. Now, we have a lot of iron and a lot of coal, and we can definitely realize that. But it should be in an area where there is low urbanization. It's definitely not going to be Shikoku, because, let's face it, there is basically almost nothing here. Infrastructure capacity is there, though. That is something that is tempting. Kyushu would also be possible. We have the coal mine. Let's go with Kyushu. I'm actually going with Kyushu. We still have a lot of infrastructure in the area, and we have a lot of workforce here. So steel mills it is, and let's start with 2 of them right away. So we can start with the steel production, which is 0 at the moment in Japan. With that, we can then change a whole bunch of work modes around that also lead to more tools production, more wood production, and ultimately the engine production. That's something that I would like to go for here. So far so good. It's taking some time right now because of the law process. I think at some point soon now we'll just have to go to the consumption-based taxation. I just need to find out where I can get the money out because this is going to be very costly. Unfortunately, they're not going to back down on this. I could try to get rid of this guy here. Exile is not possible at the moment. It's difficult because really I have no idea how we could get the money in if I switch to that taxation system. Going to be interesting for sure, and we continue onwards. Stay tuned.